Hello, unlimited friends. Today I want to talk to you about healing your body. How is it that disease happens, and how can we heal ourselves just using the power of our mind and positive thinking? Because that is what Law of Attraction is all about. So, before I get into it, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com, and on this channel, we discuss anything and everything to do with the law of attraction in order to improve our lives and start living unlimited lives. Let's get right into it. All right. You know, or I hope you know, that everything in the universe is vibrating. Yes, that's right. Everything in the universe is vibrating. Vibration is at the core of the tiniest particle in the universe. If you take the building blocks of matter, so if you take us, we are matter. If you take us apart and you go down to the particle level, you'll find that every particle is vibrating. In our cells, there is movement inside, they're vibrating. If you break the cell down to its components, to the molecules and the atoms that compose it, inside an atom, there's movement all the time. There are electrons, there are particles, protons, electrons, they're always in movement and they are vibrating. Where does that energy come from? That energy of vibration. That's what Source is all about. Source is powering everything at the atomic level, at the level of the particle. And so, humans, when we think a thought, the vibration of the thought we think affects each and every cell of our body. Every cell of our body is affected by that thought. When we think negative thoughts, our body is affected negatively. When we think positive thoughts, our bodies are impacted positively. And knowing this is extremely important, because if we continue vibrating negatively, then each cell of our body is also negatively impacted and starts vibrating negatively. The important thing about this is that a negative vibration attracts another negative vibration, and then that attracts another negative vibration and another one and another one. And this train that gets formed is what attracts disease in the end. So all of disease is a result of accumulated negative vibration. One of the questions that I always get asked is, Zara, I wasn't thinking about this disease, so why did I get it? Well, the answer to that is that vibrational correlation is very different from physical correlation. Physical correlation is, I push this, it bends over. Vibrational correlation is, I push this and something else bends over. And the reason is because it's about the vibration, not about the thing. And that's why our bodies are affected by every thought that we think. Take that a step further. And if you do that, then you'll realize that all this vibration that we generate from every cell of our body, it creates what we call our aura. And the aura is like a cocoon of energy that surrounds our body. And those people who can read energy are able to see auras. The aura is simply the vibration that surrounds us, that is flowing from us into the universe. Now, the important thing for us to understand is that our aura can be beautiful in the sense that it can be a continuous stream of vibration, Or just imagine if this continuous stream of vibration had cracks in it or holes in it. Can you imagine that? It would look jagged, right? Let me show you an image of what I mean. So here I am with my board. Actually, my daughter's board. She just doesn't know that I borrowed it. Okay, so here I am, and I have this aura around me, vibrating all the time. It surrounds me equally at every point, and all these vibrations are vibrations that are going from my physical body into the universe. Well, the thing that happens is that when we think negative thoughts, this does not remain whole. It starts developing cracks in it and holes. So when someone is used to thinking negative thoughts, there are these negative vibrations and they create these holes in the aura. Sometimes a hole becomes really, really big because it's a subject that has been irritating me or you or any person for a very long time. So now this becomes a really big hole. Now, when I say it becomes a really big hole, what am I referring to? I'm referring to negative beliefs or negative thoughts. And it does not have to be a belief that is a really big one. It's not like that. If I hate my neighbor's guts because they always park on my side and their car sticks into my driveway, I get irritated by it every day. So what happens is every day I'm sending this negative vibration, and then I'm doing it again, and then I'm doing it again, and this hole is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Is my neighbor important to me? No. My neighbor is not really important to my level of happiness. However, my observing what my neighbor is doing is having an impact on my vibration, and it is creating a big bad hole in my aura. Now what happens is when I have this hole, then if I focus on anything, for example, let's say that I have a couple of friends who are suffering from cancer, or somebody's got some disease going on, and I pay attention to it, either by feeling sorry for them or just thinking about it in some way, shape, or form, or noticing that the news is talking about it, any of that stuff. Now what's happened is I've activated this subject. Let's put it over here. So I've activated this subject of cancer because, not because I want it, not because I want anyone else to have it, but because it keeps cropping up, and it keeps cropping up because I keep paying attention to it, because that's law of attraction. If you pay attention to something, it will keep cropping up in your reality. So the subject of cancer keeps coming up, and I keep thinking about it. Now what's going to happen is, because I have activated this, it's going to pull towards me, and it's going to use this hole that I've created in my aura to enter my life. This is how bad things happen to good people. This is how people who nobody deserves to get sick, but people get sick because they have created these holes through their beliefs and their thoughts, because a thought is a belief. If you think the same thought a couple of times, it turns into a belief. So my belief is that cancer is a bad thing, and that's it. If that was the only thing I thought about cancer is bad, it destroys lives, it's bad for you, but I'm thinking about the subject of cancer. I'm not appreciating it. I'm feeling negative emotions about it. And when I feel negative emotions about it, I'm activating it from a negative perspective, and my activating it is now what is bringing it to me. So the more I think about it, the more I focus on it, I'm focusing my thoughts on it. I'm focusing my thoughts on it. I'm thinking about it. People are reminding me about it. I'm activating more and more vibration. And in the end, that vibration, that magnetic pull, becomes so strong that it has to enter my system because I am pulling it by thinking about it. So that's how disease ends up happening. We call it into our system by, first of all, generating that weakness, and secondly, focusing on something that we don't really want. So, what is the answer here? Well, the answer here is don't let this happen, right? You have to stop it, because if you keep track, if you notice the thoughts that you're thinking and you're able to catch them in time, then you will never create these holes. And if you never create these holes, then there's no opportunity for anything to get into your system. That's how law of attraction works. But once you open the door, now anything can come in. If you give it your slightest attention, the hole is so big that it's going to let it in. But if the hole is really small, if it's tiny, like these holes over here, or even tinier than that, maybe it's just a little blip because you only thought about it once. Well, if it's just a blip like that, it will eventually go away because you might have created the blip today, but tomorrow you're going to go and have a fantastic time with your friends. You're going to laugh and play and dance, and when you do that, this hole is closed. And all of these holes can be closed as well if you just stop doing this that you were doing before. And if you do enough playing and dancing and singing and just having a good time, you can cap all these holes. So now I'm going to take it one step further. So let's talk about healing now. What happens when healing takes place? Two things happen to enable healing. One, we've already talked about. We close all these holes, or most of them anyway. So the holes are gone. And now what happens is, if we keep thinking positive thoughts, thoughts of appreciation, playful thoughts, happy thoughts, we go up the emotional scale. And when we go up the emotional scale, we are no longer generating these thoughts that created the holes in the first place. And when we stop generating these thoughts, then our body can heal itself. You know why? Because when we generate these vibrations, they hamper the communication of the cells of our body. So here's a cell, and here's a cell, and here's a cell, and there are millions of cells that are in our body that when they communicate in perfect communication with each other, they are able to heal themselves. They are able to promote the healing of our body. But when this kind of a vibration cuts across them, it destroys cellular communication. So now here there's a clump of cells and there's another clump of cells. They are not communicating because these thoughts that we've been thinking have created a hormonal, enzymatic, chemical reaction in our body. And when we produce a certain type of chemical in our body, it hampers or gets in the way of cellular communication. And when it gets in the way of cellular communication, now our bodies cannot heal themselves. So when we take this away, when we stop thinking these thoughts that are harmful to us, we plug these holes. Not only are the holes gone now, so nothing more can come in, But now these cells are able to communicate with each other perfectly. And that perfect communication leads to a balance in our physical body. That is what leads to healing. Make sense? It's so simple when you understand it. There's a lot of science behind this, but really what I've done is I've simplified it at a very simple level. This is what happens in our physical body. And so we all have the capacity, we all have the capability to heal our physical bodies by changing the way we think. Isn't that wonderful? And isn't it fantastic that it is so? Because we really need it, right? So imagine if all of us could just learn to go up the emotional scale, because that's really what we need. We need to go up the emotional scale and start living our life at a place of love. That place of love means if my neighbor parks in a way that makes it hard for me to get out of my driveway, I'm going to ignore it, because my well-being is more important than that thing that my neighbor is doing. I'm going to let it go because I now understand that I can hurt my physical body because of the thoughts that I think. And I love my physical body. I want to thrive. I want to heal. I want to enjoy my body to the maximum that I can. And if we are able to create this harmony going on in our body, we would never put on excess weight. We would live in perfect balance. Our bodies would be perfectly functioning organs, and we would live vital lives till the end of our days. Like Abraham says, I love Abraham's words. Oh my God, I love Abraham's words. You know what words they are? They are happy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, dead. How wonderful is that, right? So comment below. Happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy. Comment below. I am not going to take anything seriously. Life is not about being so serious, because when you are serious is when you generate those thoughts that take you down the emotional scale. And when you go down the emotional scale, that's when you generate all those chemicals in your body that hamper the communication between your cells. Now, once that damage has been done, it is so much harder. It takes a lot more work to fix damage than it is to prevent damage, right? We all know that. Let's prevent that damage from happening by choosing our thoughts. Comment below. I choose my thoughts. I choose my thoughts. I am capable of thinking better, feeling thoughts. I am capable of letting that person off the hook. I let everyone off the hook. Everyone's off the hook except me, because I am the only one who lets in manifestations. So I'm the only one on the hook, the only one that needs to change, the only one who can change, because we have no power to change anyone else. We only have the power to change ourselves. Comment below. I can change myself. I am capable of improvement. You have to believe that you are capable of improving your life, because that is such a powerful belief that if you keep repeating it again and again and again, that belief becomes a magnet, and it brings you the solutions that you need. It brings you the people who will help you. It brings you all kinds of things that are going to take you to the next level in your life. So yes, folks, we can have happy, healthy lives. And that is what we all want, isn't it? So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that you found it really, really useful. And if you did, remember to leave me a comment to let me know. I would really appreciate it, because it makes me feel really happy when I see comments. When I see that people are getting it, when I see that you took away something of value that's going to help you in your life, makes me really happy. So thank you all for coming and watching and posting your comments. I hope that you will subscribe and click on the notification bell so that I can send you an invitation to come back for my next video. So until next time, have a fabulous rest of the day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.